everyone, today is a great day to show you what we do at HouseHack. Well, at least from the renovation and building side. Artificial intelligence is another chapter that we kind of don't have to leave the office for, which is cool, but let's, for today, leave the office and go check out what's going on. One day we'll get that clean, but don't worry about the dust. Black's just a bad color in SoCal. Right now we're rolling up in a neighborhood we love buying real estate in, and it's mostly homeowners, which we love buying in neighborhoods where you have a lot of homeowners. What's awesome about this neighborhood is because we did such a great job buying a deal cash as is, the sellers and the seller's side of the transaction were so enthusiastic with the work that we did, how fast we were to close, how easy it was for us to work with them, and how simple we made the whole process for them, that we ended up getting connected with another property off market just a few doors down that we also picked up. So now we got two properties on the same side of the street too, which is great, in a great neighborhood. Here's one of them right here. This one's still in escrow though, so we got to close that. We'll be fixing that up once it closes, although it doesn't even need that much work. We got a great deal off market, knock on wood. And now we're gonna go over to the fixer-upper, which this one needed a little bit of work. Let's just say we bought it and it didn't even have a shower in it. So it's the kind of property you can't finance. It's a little stinky and gross. People always say like, oh, you know, are you just buying properties that other people could otherwise live in? And we're like, no, we're buying properties that have often been empty for years, and they really need somebody to come in and transform them and make them livable again. And then when we can, we'll even add units to them. So we're adding housing to the local housing supply. So here we go. Looks like the painters are here on this one. We'll go ahead and pull up and we'll see what we got on this one. This one's also getting a new driveway. I usually don't love it when I have to pour concrete, but this one was worth it because it was such a great deal. See, original driveway. A lot of termite damage over here on the lumber, getting rid of that. As you can see, we're throwing in some new wood over here. Looks fantastic already. We'll get a new garage door. All right, we got the snazzy music. Hello! Hey. Timo! How's it going?
Oh, Kevin, how you doing, man?
Good. Good to see you.
Good.
Do you need anything? You got the cabinet paint and everything?
I got everything. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You doing the wood?
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. Nice to meet you. I'm Kevin.
Dago.
Pleasure to meet you.
Kevin.
Thanks. Nice to meet you. Very good job. Okay, so here's just an example of an original kitchen. Usually we'll do whatever we can at every single property to make a unique decision for a property. In this case, we decided the layout's good. The kitchen cabinets, while there's a little bit of love they need, there's nothing we can't fix here and make great. The inside has actually been pretty well protected by this felt, so we'll be removing this, having a nice liner in here. These are great functional cabinets, and really, we can save a lot of money by doing this. So there's a balance here where we can take an original kitchen and we can retop it or glaze the top, and we'll paint the cabinets with cabinet paint, cabinet primer, oil-based cabinet primer, of course, and really bring a kitchen back to life for a fraction of the cost of what it would cost to tear all of this out, fix all of the drywall, rebuy cabinetry. Usually we can get away with painting cabinets for about 25% of the cost, sometimes even less depending on if we're doing new countertops or not. And that all comes down to the condition of the countertops. In this case, the condition of the countertops is pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the price to glaze these countertops to new stone. My expectation is that new stone's going to run us somewhere around $5,000. It's going to be probably a slab and a half here, plus the install, plus the sink install, the backsplash, a lot of components there. And then unfortunately, we'll also run into damage, like potentially at the side of the cabinet in the event the backsplash isn't cut appropriately. So a lot of little considerations that end up creating nuances, especially if we damage the cabinets. So here, if we compare that to the price of potentially glazing these cabinets, we might be able to do that for under $800, in which case, or the countertops for under $800, in which case we're saving a substantial amount of money. So this is where we'll go through and make sure
everything that we're doing within these properties is upgraded to new standards. So we're going to get decor switches in here. We're going to get rid of the old ivory. We're not just putting a plate over to mask the color. We'll go with new flooring, a luxury vinyl plank, something waterproof, new baseboards, usually a 4-inch baseboard. We throw ceiling fans in every room before we end up obviously doing our painting, so we're not double painting and double drywall working. In this case, we'll get a new vanity in here and clean up the bathroom. So this is just a quick example. I always like to get fart fans in as well. So I'll upgrade the fart fans. I run the electricians through before we drywall and paint, of course. So that to me is very important. I love taking these properties that need some love and coming in and contributing to the neighborhood. Outside new paint, inside new paint, new systems, and now providing it to a tenant who can rent it and not complain, because no tenant wants to move into a property and end up having a crappy property that they constantly have to call a bad landlord with. That's one of the things we love about what we do at HouseHack is we try to create a great quality property. So we'll have all of this landscaping redone. We usually, to save on cost and water, depending on if we're in a drought or where the property is located, we'll usually do a mix of grass and a mix of mulch and a mix of rock. So that way it's not all one thing. Not all mulch, not all rock, but we might do rocks over in this area and then maybe 40% mulch and then 40% grass. And then of course we'll paint these fences as well after doing wood repairs to them. Roof in this case is in great condition. Outside will be painted. And of course we're running licensed plumbers, licensed electricians through, licensed HVAC. It's great. So this is just one example. Let's go to the next one. Last thing we'll do here is the concrete, mostly because when people are painting or drywalling here, they always end up getting my new concrete stained or messed up. So there's definitely an order of operations to these properties. But really, I almost feel like I can do them in my sleep. I've just done so many of them now. And the most enjoyable part about these renovations is once they're done for like 15 years. Because we pick neutral styles. Well, Lauren does. Our designer, we like to say. She's the chief property manager, chief designer. She makes the design choices. We're actually going to go to a property where we're looking at adding a bathroom. And what's so exciting about all of these remodels is, again, once they're remodeled and we do it right the first time, we don't have to deal with calls. The tenants almost manage themselves in a single family. It's a pretty great business and a great way to diversify investments. Always keep hand sanitizer in your car. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to a multifamily. This was actually a 1920s property that was 3 units when it was first acquired, was then converted to 4 units legally with permits. Great work. Now we are building 2 more units, and then there will be 2 more after that. So the permit time frames and processes with this particular city, it could be a little better, they could be a little faster, and I'd love it if they can consolidate some of their permit work, but sometimes you take what you can get, and the fact that, knock on wood, it looks like we're gonna be golden for 4 extra units on a 4-unit apartment building, literally doubles our unit count near a downtown of a beautiful city. That's coastline California real estate. So the rents we could get here are going to be phenomenal, and the ROI on the cost to build is excellent. So couldn't be more excited to show you, and let's go take a look at the 2 units that are almost complete. Welcome. This is a wonderful ADU that obviously is in the building progress. ADUs, accessory dwelling units. All permitted, and what we'll find here is it's all just been painted, which means we are now prepared for our countertops to go in. We've got the dual pane windows, we've got the beautiful can lights. So you can see it's all a beautiful, smooth, finished texture, which is gorgeous, very modern. Honestly, amazing. Like, it's nicer than my house. So we've got our dishwasher and sink stack over here, countertop plugs, you can see. Mini split inside the unit. This is going to be more of your sort of dining or living space, if you will. They're smaller units, but these are just converted garages. So if you think about it, you've got what used to be a 400 square foot garage. And you turn that into now a 400 square foot unit, and then a second 400 square foot unit on top, and then potentially 2 in front of it, which is fantastic. That's how you get an extra 8 units. So here you've got your classic bedroom. Very nice, simple. And this will be where the stackable laundry is. As you can see here, we've got our vent exhaust. We've got our water lines here, our gas line over here, light switch for here. Corner, beautiful tiled subway tile, timeless bathtub, or not bathtub, corner shower here. Something to remember is a lot of people really like to pick trends that are in right now. But the downside of picking a trend that's in right now is what happens if in 3 years it's not in anymore. Think, for example, Satio tile, very in for a particular period of time. Or look at slate flooring, which was super in like the 2003 era. Another example might be gray kitchen cabinets. We renovated some properties with gray kitchen cabinets as well, but it always rubber bands back to white. So all of our new projects will all continue to be white. But beautiful, beautiful even hexagonal shower pan here. We'll get a nice glass surround in. The fart fan, the vanity, the toilet will come. And this is just one example. We'll go show you the unit upstairs too. And here you can see is exactly the same thing upstairs, which is awesome because it makes it easy to build. It stacks your gas line, it stacks your drain lines, stacks your drain lines over here, stacks your venting, stacks your electrical. I mean, the electrical, beautiful work here by the licensed electricians, the mini split unit over here as well. Fantastic. So this is just an example of 2 ADUs that we're building. And right now we're in progress on 8 more units at an 8-unit apartment building, which is exciting. A few single ADUs on single family homes where we're adding an ADU in a larger backyard. For example, that last property that we were in, we wouldn't add an ADU to the back. We don't really want to turn a single family into a duplex. But some of our single families are so large that we can create a separate entrance for an ADU and really make it feel like you have 2 single family homes that are just neighbors. Hey, here's another one that was a total fixer mess. We honestly think that a hoarder lived here and they had a lot of cats. And then I believe they passed away in a hospital or wherever. But the property was vacant for quite a while, and so the smell really sunk in. And this is where we have to go through and treat the concrete with whatever products that we can, usually natural solutions or what you want to use for urines. And then we came through and we've now primed it multiple times with bin advanced. It's really expensive, but bin advanced for something like this, really good. And we've now eliminated any odors, and we've already got the walls painted on this. We've got the ceiling painted on this. We've got now electrical to do. We've got dual pane sliders and windows in here. We like to have the painters, when the painters are in here priming things like kitchen cabinets or doors, we like to have the painters also do the 4-inch baseboard. So we have that delivered first, so that way while the painters have Swiss coffee semi-gloss in the spray gun, the airless sprayer, they can do this at the same time to lower labor costs. Especially since a lot of our painters, we pay by the day. Cabinets, sprayed cabinets look absolutely gorgeous. This is just a good example of what after sprayed cabinets can look like. Quartz countertops still to come. Electrical work to be done. Jack and I delivered these fans yesterday. Here's a clip of Jack helping me deliver them so we can get them ready for the electricians. Can you tell me what you think about the flooring we did in here?
Was this the cat piece going on?
Yeah.
It sounds better.
Hey, here's another example of one with our paint scheme done. You can see the garage nicely painted here. We've got the eaves and the fascia board here nicely painted, which looks great. So fantastic work here by the painters. We're gonna hop on inside on this one. Also got a nice new roof on this one. Got our toilets showed up, which is great. The toilets go in after the flooring though, and then we put new door hardware on, so this door hardware is still a little rickety. some of the old stuff, but that's okay. These are all jobs in progress. Quick reminder, if any of what we do resonates with you and you want to diversify to HouseHack, remember that you can go to househack.com and you can get 5% as a yield by investing in our latest round. You get that 5% paid on a monthly basis, and you get that distributed to you the way you want, directly into your bank account. So it's great yield paid from the income of the business, and you get 100% of the upside in the company. Technically, they're convertible bonds, which means you get a yield through conversion, and then the only way the bonds convert to stock is if the value of the stock goes up. Then you can get 100% of the upside. Now remember, we buy, we fix, we manage, we build, but we're also developing our secret sauce, which we already use internally, but now we want to license to other investors or real estate agents or really just clients who want to get a good deal on a home. And that's going to be our Wedge Finder artificial intelligence software to help prioritize deals and find out which deals are the best to buy. So we'll be licensing that probably with a beta starting in the fourth quarter, and then hopefully a public release in the first quarter. We're super excited about that, and if you're interested in investing, consider going to househack.com. Remember, every investment has risk, and it's really important that you read the offering circular or the private placement memorandum. If you have any questions, you can always email us at ir@househack.com. Keep in mind also, I am the CEO, so I can be a little biased at the upside. I'm very bullish myself, but that should not sway your personal investment decisions. So let's go take a look at this one. Love dropping off electrical items for the electricians. Like I said, the last property, I like to really get ahead of bringing supplies to these vendors, so I'm not paying them to go stand in line somewhere. And so in this case, we could see that they've already come in and thrown in the Decora outlets. The Decora switches are in. Obviously, windows need to be cleaned in this place, but that'll be done towards our cleanup and finishes. But here is an example. We've got brand new cabinets. Not only brand new cabinets and our GFIs on the countertop, we got the 20 amp GFIs over here, 20 amp plugs over here, all tamper resistant, weather resistant as well, which is great for the kitchen area. But these cabinets are fantastic. We've got new can lights in over here, 6-inch cans, which is great. We'll have our sink and dishwasher over here. This originally had one of those double wall ovens and cooktop combos. I hate those because to me, that's multiple devices that I have to now get. I have to get a custom fit oven for this. Then I have to get, which a custom fit oven is usually going to run around $1,600. Then I'm going to have to get a cooktop, which is going to run me at least $1,000. That's not even installed. And then of course the microwave, which I would do either way. The beautiful thing about a range is I can get a really good quality range for $5.99 and have an oven and range, like cooktop in one. So all of a sudden, just in materials cost, as opposed to paying 16 plus $1,000, which is $2,600, I'm saving $2,000 by combining the appliances into a range instead of a cooktop and separate oven. And so practically to a tenant, this makes zero difference. And to investors, it's a $2,000 difference. So it's remarkable. This is also a fantastic property where in the future, we are planning, hopefully, we'll see, to turn this into a property that has a beautiful higher fence, and maybe we'll even add an accessory dwelling unit depending on what kind of authorizations we're able to get from the city. So we're very, very excited about how we're contributing more housing to the neighborhoods, and couldn't be more excited with this. This is a great project. We've got a nice 2-story here. It is a split level, so the master is only up half of the way. All of this will be refloored, look gorgeous. So this is an example of the master over here, and it's a great property. So very excited. This will be a nice little accent pop wall, which will look really great when the flooring is in. Wish we had an example today to show the flooring, but we don't. Oh well, soon enough we will.
So these 3 fixers that we just saw, we think will probably generate, I mean, certainly hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity for the company, which is bonus value to the company. It doesn't even show up on the balance sheet because you're not paying taxes on it until the time comes you sell it. So, you know, we look at them as like, great, these are great little piggy banks that we can refinance in the future, which is really exciting because our vision is the more we can build these little piggy banks, the more, if in the future we're in some kind of recessionary environment, or there's a reason for rates to come down because inflation is lower, or whatever the rationale is, who knows. We have these cash properties that have no debt on them. And we can go to a banker and say, hey, we've got, call it $100 million of real estate whenever that time comes. Let's say we've got $100 million of real estate paid off. We want to finance this up and go buy more real estate. We could really blow up the size of the portfolio to probably $350 million, which is insane, because that 100 would represent our down. I mean, if that was 20% down, we'd blow it up to $500 million portfolio of real estate, which is remarkable. There's just so much involved in every single property, getting the renovations done, that it is a lot of work. A lot of people look at this and say, man, I'd rather just invest in stocks. And I get that. I always say, hey, once your net worth is over $1 million, just invest in stocks. And that's actually why we think what we're doing is so exciting, because we give people an opportunity to reinvest in their profits or their income or their gains on stocks or whatever into a diversified pool of real estate that somebody else is handling the management on. That is us. Like, we handle that. Somebody else handles the acquisitions on. We handle that. Somebody else handles the renovations on. We handle that. Somebody else deals with the contractors on. We handle that. Somebody else deals with the lenders on when that time comes. We handle that. Again, we don't have any bank debt at the moment, but when that time comes, that's going to be a lot of work. Somebody's got to deal with the lenders, the appraisers, deal with the refinancing, deal with the cycles of loans, because it's not all going to happen at once. It's buy, refi, buy, refi, buy, refi when we get to that phase of the market cycle. And that's just going to be that many more renovations. Fortunately, when that time comes, all of these renovations that we're doing right now, we shouldn't really have to ever do anything except maybe the occasional touch-up paint. That's the beautiful thing, is if a tenant leaves after 2 or 3 years, average time a tenant stays in a property is probably 5 to 7 years realistically. We do some touch-up paint, or we repaint with the same color, and floor is still in, the kitchens, the bathrooms are still in, the styles are still in, the fans are still good, the light fixtures are still good. Maybe replace some light bulbs, make sure the smoke detectors are good, and re-rent it. So it becomes really easy and formulaic. So for us, it's actually not that stressful to handle. It's pretty simple. We go in and we're like, all right, we already know the formula to apply to this, so just do it. Call the right person to do it, and it's done. That's an example of just some of the real estate that's in progress. Mind you, we just closed on these properties. We're beginning of October here. We just started buying in September again. So we're October 3rd right now, and we just started buying again in September because we said we would buy in Q3 and Q4 again of 2025. We let August go by. Kevin was also on vacation in Japan right before school started. Not that that had any bearing on our timing, because we wanted to wait for school to start. That's usually when buying activity slows down, and it creates an opportunity to be a buyer when other buyers have dropped out. So I don't like buying before school starts anyway. Then the kids went back to school. I observed the market for a couple weeks and decided, you know what? It's go time. 7 properties in escrow or closed in the span of 2 weeks. And that's not bad. Some of that is because of the artificial intelligence that we can use that can help us find deals. Some of it is, wow, we got a deal because we were really good at another deal, like we showed you on the first property. So it's very exciting. But this is really the construction, the nitty-gritty side. And to us, while it's not that sexy, like, oh, that's the AI SaaS or whatever, this is the core of the business that's really hard to bankrupt, because it's just it's a hard living in terms of all that needs to be done, but it's an honest living. It's straightforward. We think it provides massive shareholder value and value to the community by providing more housing. But really what we do is we do what other people don't want to do, and as a result, we get paid for it, which is great. And now on top of that, if we can take some of the equity that we're building and build out real estate software as a service, as we're doing with our Reinvest app, that's very exciting, because to us,
Our company safety net is this amazing portfolio of high quality real estate that we have renovated. That's our safety net. And the upside is infinite, thanks to using and replicating our experience in real estate, what we see as a good deal in real estate, and then licensing that to people, not just across the United States, but eventually across the entire world. So our total addressable market for deals is insane.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.